Guys, it's Miss Minnie Life back here for day 2 of the Crafttober challenge. That's a challenge where I'm using prompts to tell me what I'm going to craft each day and then giving myself a very short amount of time to complete each project. I'm using the prompts from the Inktober website, so I'll link that down in the description box in case you guys want to go grab your own and then follow along or do your own crafting thing for this spooky season. So I'm really excited, guys. Let's go shake up the jar and see what we get. Okay, here we go. Oops. Okay. I guess this is what we're working with. Beast! Beast! Perfect. Okay. I don't have any clue what I am going to make. Yay! It eventually occurred to me I only know one adorable animal in this entire universe who fits the bill for the description of beast. So I'm adding all ball to my diorama. No all ball. You're killing my plant. Don't eat my plant. No, Baba, no. So I'm starting out with the walls and the floor for this build, and I'm using some foam board, some chipboard, and some specialty paper that I got from the craft store. I'm building all of this in 1/12 scale, and I'm loving this scale a lot better than the smaller sizes that I usually do. So I've caved to the majority, and I think I'm gonna be doing most of these builds for Crafttober in this size. I'm painting the walls and the floor with acrylic paint, and any brand of acrylic paint will definitely work for these kinds of dioramas. So just go with whatever's in your budget and don't worry about if it's like some kind of special brand or being expensive, because the ones I use are definitely inexpensive. I decided to go with Balsa Wood for the floor this time, and I'm using a big wood file to add some grooves to it. And then I'm going over that with acrylic paint as well and not doing any kind of wood stain. Just plain acrylic paint that I layered from dark to light. I really wanted to make a super hyper realistic cat for this diorama. Usually I just sculpt out the animals, but I wanted to add fur and have it look like it was basically alive. That's not how it turned out, but that was the goal when I set out to do this build. I watched a ton of videos here on YouTube by other creators, and those videos were really good. They gave very precise instructions, and somehow I couldn't follow them. So I ended up sculpting a base cat out of polymer clay. I used a printed guide that I made in Photoshop to get the proportions of the body correct. Sculpting and painting the face of the cat gave me a lot of trouble. I kept doing it over and over again, and then adding the fur was also difficult. I harvested some fur from these pom-poms I got from the craft store, and then I used super glue at first and later switched to Aleene's Tacky glue to glue down the fur. And I gave him a quick trim. He looked a little bit crazy in the process, but at the end, the fur actually looked all right. It was just the wrong color. So I used this airbrush that I'm testing out by Vevor to go over it and make him gray, and then acrylic white paint for his chest. I made some flattened box patterns in Photoshop, and then I printed them onto like cardboard box colored cardstock paper and cut them out, and then scored them and folded them up and glued them together with white glue. I added on some little stickers that I made to be little shipping labels. And then they looked a little bit too clean, so I dirtied them up using some brown acrylic paint. I used more cardstock to make a stencil of the monster that is going to be projected onto the back wall, and I cut it out with a X-Acto knife. I glued the boxes in place and added a small picture frame to the wall, and then I used the airbrush that I used for the fur for all ball to spray on a shadow in the background, and I love how the shadow turned out. The airbrush was the perfect tool for this. I don't know if I could have done it with just the paintbrush, but I really love how the airbrush made it look like an actual shadow coming off of the cat. Before I show you guys how it turned out, quick shout out to Comfort, Ryan, Fred, Lori, Lisa, Walter, Geek Culture, Explosive Runes, Deb, Samantha Hopes, Ash, Rosemary Lawler, and Leslie Parker. Some of these guys were previous shoutouts from months past. I just wanted to make sure you got your shout out. Thank you so much for being a tier 3 subscriber on Patreon. Here's the final results of this Crafttober day number 2 prompt, Beast. And I really enjoyed making this even though nothing went according to plan. I love having the challenge of having no time to build things. So I'm looking forward to the next build, you guys, and I will see you guys over there on the next video. Bye!